SSL Fusion, one of the most popular analog units. It's affordable, it has a good build quality, it sounds good, it does multiple things. So I definitely understand why tons of people are excited for this unit and have it in their rack. Even a lot of producers, mix engineers, or even mastering engineers have this unit because it definitely does some good things. It's as well a good unit to get started with if you are going into the analog world and you need a unit that does multiple things. Then the SSL Fusion is just super handy. Let's get over what the SSL Fusion does, and I will share my thoughts on each and every module on it. I only do EDM mastering here for hundreds of tracks, and I love using the SSL Fusion, but I don't love everything about it, so let's get into it. So let's start at the beginning. You got your input trim, very straightforward. It's nice, but to be honest, I don't really use it because I do my gain staging before it hits the Fusion. As well, it's not stepped, and yeah, gain is very important to get right if you do a recall on analog masters. So I don't like using the input gain on the Fusion. The next one is your high pass filter. We've got 0, 30, 40 and 50. I like to have it off, but it can sometimes come in very handy if you need just a little bit more headroom, a bit more space in the low end, and a bit less of those super low subs. So if you clean a little bit here, you can, for example, boost a little bit here. So you boost on the 30, you cut on 40. That way you can get a nice low end without sounding too sub heavy. The vintage drive, I never use this. Why? Because it has a lot of noise. I can understand that you use this if you, for example, process vocals and print those back into the mix session and use those vocals in your track, but to be honest, I don't think the vintage drive is ever a good idea in mastering because it sounds super dirty. If you master, for example, a super classic house or dirty old school kind of techno track, then yeah, the noise can definitely be nice, but yeah, in 99% of the cases you want to have a clean sounding master. You want color, but color and noise are some different things in my opinion. I can use the black box for incredible color, and there are some other options as well to get really nice color. Then the EQ, Violet EQ, in my opinion, it's an amazing sounding EQ if you don't overuse it. I love the 30 and 50, can just give a nice low end bump. 90 is as well great if you have a track that's way too bass heavy, especially if you combine it with a nice high pass filter, and you can even bring in some low end later in the chain. So yeah, this is a really good sounding EQ, especially for this price. It's pretty incredible that you can get such a good EQ. Then the airband, I love it at 20, never really goes higher than this. For mixing, I can understand that you go with settings like this. For mastering, it's just a little bit, you need to ask yourself what you're doing if you really need to dial in 9 dBs ever on a track. So that never really happens here. Then my favorite part of the unit and why I won't sell my SSL Fusion is the high frequency compressor. I love to have the crossover at 20 and the threshold very low, so you can really shape off a lot of the harsh top end frequencies. It's just sounding great. And if you have the Fusion early in your chain, what I do, my chain starts with the SSL Fusion. Then you can really control your master. So you can, on the one hand, control your low end, you know, get it tight with EQ and filtering. Then control your top end. If you change the crossover to a little bit lower frequency, you can, for example, really get it to grab the harsh claps, hi-hats, stuff like that. But I prefer controlling those in the box, and then in the analog side, just go and control the very, very high frequencies. It's nice, by the way, that you can switch all modules off and on. Then stereo imager. Space basically increases or decreases the amount of site information with very simple increase or decrease the volume of the sites. I never use the stereo imager except when there's like super serious problems, but I prefer using my dedicated SPL stereo imager. That's just a whole other level of quality over the SSL Fusion. That said though, the stereo imager does sound really good. I always love to, decrease a little bit the site information, bring it up a little bit. That way you create a lot more space and a lot more cleaner mix on most tracks. Then the transformer, it does sound super nice. It gives a little bit more sheen to the track and makes it a little bit more crispy. That's the main takeaway from this transformer. I love having it on and I think it sounds really good. That said though, you need to have a controlled mix. So if your mix is harsh or if it's, all over the place, then I wouldn't, use the transformer. But if your mix is solid, not harsh, has controlled low end, then I find myself loving the transformer. Then insert, it's really cool. You can basically keep it like this. That way have even a mid-side insert, which is super dope. So you can process the mids and the sides separately from each other. In my case, I use it as stereo insert and I send it to the West Audio NG bus compressor, which is the absolute best bus compressor for EDM. That's an absolute beast. It's controlled through a plugin. You can put the insert point pre or after the EQ, which is super cool and allows for some creative freedom right there. So there you have it, my thoughts on the different modules of the SSL Fusion. Now let's play some audio, let's play some tracks, and let's see what these modules do, how they sound, and how they can improve your track. super fun to show you some examples of how the SSL Fusion, especially in combination with the West Audio NG bus compressor, sound on some dance tracks. As you can hear, the unit sounds fantastic. I think it's a no-brainer if you are looking for a box that can do quite a couple of things, yeah, very good. I wouldn't say every module of it is as good as it can be, but the EQ, the high frequency compressor, and of course the transformer are just super good. Love the high pass filter as well. It sounds super tight. So yeah, for just a couple of $1,000 you can get the unit, depending on where you are. If you want to buy one of the units, I'm not affiliated with SSL in any way, but you can use my affiliate link for Thomann if you're based in Europe in the description and get it through there. If you got any questions on the unit, or you would like to see any specific other video on the SSL Fusion, know that I'm always in the comments, so you can just reach out there. I will check it. I will come back to you if possible. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. It's really helping the channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. It's early days, but I'm super excited to keep pushing here, pushing out mastering content for you to watch. I love to make these kind of videos, so I'm super happy to be back, and let's keep going. Yo.